Hello, if you're new to this channel, please kindly like, share, and subscribe. So this channel is about, you know, communal progression of Ghanaians and Africa as a whole. It's about, the peaceful coexistence of, us as humans here on this earth, regardless of your race, regardless of your ethnic background, regardless of what nationality you are, we're all one, okay, as God's children, okay. So this morning I'm talking about Ghana, my country. Okay. I feel that Ghana has taken God out of the equation. And that being the case, everything that we're doing, okay, is going to amount to nothing. Okay. The net result will be zero. Okay. If you take God out of the equation and put your hope in a human being, okay, then unfortunately, you've lost your way. Okay. So we're in a political season, and there's the usual political euphoria of, um, people being enticed with money to vote for a particular political party, not actually trying to understand what the programs of the party is in terms of the transformational development that we're all yearning for, okay? Not trying to understand the political ideology of the party to see whether it aligns with yours, not trying to do a critical analysis and assessment of the historic performance of that political party and their candidate to see whether there's a real chance of progress. Okay. But more to the point, I feel like Ghana has taken God out of the equation. And if you take God out of the equation, then you're either stagnating or retrogressing, one of the two. So which of the two does Ghana fall into? Is Ghana in a stagnation situation, or is Ghana retrogressing? I feel Ghana is retrogressing. Okay. And if you get to a point where there is a major disconnect between the leadership of the land and the people, I'm not talking about the elite of the society, no. The elite usually are in bed with the leadership or the political leadership of Ghana. Okay. I'm talking the poor ordinary Ghanaians, okay, who struggle to get by on a daily basis, with no real access to healthcare, education, basic facilities that they need, okay, and struggle to make ends meet on a daily basis, who live in the villages with no electric, no proper pipe water into their homes, nothing, okay. And since independence, this is how they've been living, okay. And when it comes to election time or election season, the politicians will trip to these places and promise them heaven on earth, okay? And it's all lies. It's all lies, okay? You're putting your faith in a human being who is just seeking his selfish, interest, okay? People who use their personal wealth, most of which, they've amassed from the system anyway, okay? And, have sourced capital from wherever they have, okay? Now, when they go into office, they have to then find a way to recoup that investment that they've made. Okay. And how do you think they do it? Do you honestly believe that the politicians go into office to better the lives of the ordinary people? I don't think so. Okay. It's it's a form of an investment for them. Okay. So they put for every CD that they put in, they expect to get a return. Okay, by whatever factor, you know. So I feel that Ghana has pushed God out of the equation and we've put our trust in human beings. Okay, that be the case, everything that we're doing, okay, will not amount to anything. If God is not in the driving seat, okay, then whatever we're doing, you know, we're not going to succeed. Look at the exchange rate, which was once upon a time it was 1:1. Then it went to 1:3, and I think 1:4. And I think it was static around 1:6. Okay. And things were not this bad. Things were not this bad. Okay. Now we can blame it on external shocks, but that is a lot of hogwash. Okay, COVID and the Russian-Ukraine war is not to blame for the economic, you know, downturn that Ghana is experiencing. Okay, it has nothing to do with that. A lot of countries did, and they are not as bad as Ghana. Ghana had the highest inflation comparatively to the rest of the African countries, 50 plus something, I think, percent. Okay, the interest rates, everything was just through the roof. Cost of living in Ghana is through the roof. Okay, the quality of life in Ghana is so bad. You can't get an ambulance when you need one. You cannot get a fire tender if there's a fire in your house. When you call the police, would they get it within the time frame that? No. When you need, quality health care, can you get it? No. Okay. When somebody has a specialist health condition which is very serious, like kidney disease, would they get access to healthcare? No. Look at Botswana. Botswana offers free education all the way through and even pays their students to be in school. Okay. Ghana, it's not the case. All right. Look at our infrastructure. Our infrastructure is appalling. It's nothing to write home about. Okay. And then when we are subjected to the litmus test externally, you know, we find ourselves in a very disgraceful and shameful situation. That's why CAF banned Ghana, because we think that the stadiums that we have, okay, are, decent, but they're not. They're not. They're just football parks. They would never be of any real international standard. Ivory Coast has done an exceptional job, I'd say. Okay, and other countries, they have. If other countries in Africa has done it, why hasn't Ghana been able to do it? And then when we have the tournaments, then they are left to rot. How were we going to uh, leave the Kumasi Stadium in its rotten state, okay, and expect CAF to come and pass it? And then when CAF says no, we can't use that stadium, and then we're surprised. Then we start to put the stadiums in order. So right after the tournament, then we just leave it. Okay, the maintenance culture in Ghana is appalling. Okay, it's a shame, and that's because we suffer a serious problem. Okay, if you have a problem, the first thing you have to do is acknowledge that you have a problem. Okay, and the next thing is, how do I fix it? Okay, the square peg in a round hole syndrome. We're putting people at post. Okay, let's assume that the people that we put at post are qualified and experienced. Okay, and so they fall within the requirements of the appointment. There is also a very fundamental requirement to hold public office. Okay, that you must be a fit and proper person. In other words, you have to pass the integrity test. Okay, how many public office holders in Ghana will pass an integrity test? I'll be surprised. Maybe just a handful. And that handful, okay, are people that have been pushed to the back. The people that can really make a difference in Ghana have been the decent, respectable people who haven't amassed wealth by any means. Because a lot of the people who are being celebrated by Ghanaians, sadly, okay, are people with questionable wealth. Okay, it's not about how much money you have, how many businesses you own, how much money you have in your bank accounts, and how many houses you own, and in what areas, and all that. How did you come by it? Okay, how did you come by it? And a lot of it is stolen wealth. Okay, a lot of it is stolen wealth. Let's face the facts. Okay, there's a lot of conflict of interest issues in Ghana, and we are not dealing with it. Like a gross dereliction of duty. Okay, the people of Ghana are calling on the president to take drastic action about a major national issue, where a state of emergency needs to be declared with the water bodies being polluted due to illegal mining. And a minister of state makes a statement with, total disregard for the concerns and plight of the ordinary Ghanaian. Okay, this situation is putting the lives of Ghanaians seriously at risk. Okay, I don't care if the current administration has 2 months or whatever left. Okay, the people who are in office are still being paid with taxpayers' money. They have a duty. They owe the Ghanaians a duty of care to fulfill their obligations, do the work that they've been put in place to do. Okay, but then the president of the land has to demonstrate strong leadership. He has the power to take action. Okay, so why is he not doing it? That's what I don't get. Okay, unfortunately, I don't believe that if you vote, party A, party B, whoever you vote, they're not going to transform Ghana. Okay, 4 years down the line, we'll still be talking about the same problems. Okay, the people that can transform Ghana, okay, are not in politics. The people that can transform Ghana, because the filth that you have in the political system in Ghana is like, if you're a decent and a respectable person, okay, would you want to be part of that? Okay, even if you go as an independent, they won't vote for you. They would rather vote for somebody who has bribed them. Okay, and the people are just going to go there and enrich themselves. Look at the state of the country. Whenever it rains, the whole place gets flooded. How? It's shameful. It's shameful. I mean, common underground drainage. Okay, if you plan a city, you have to have a proper underground drainage system. So the water, will have inlet points, and it travels underground, and it goes to wherever it has to go to, whether it's the ocean or wherever. Okay. No, we don't. We don't have, you know, the city planners. Okay. We have all the investees, we have all the graduates, and the whole place gets flooded disgracefully. The town and country planning people who are supposed to regulate, you know, this, indiscriminate erection of structures, people just build haphazardly. And I want to commend, I think there was a minister, uh, the former minister of Greater Accra. Um, yeah, he was trying to do something. He was trying to do something, raising down structures and all that. But why were the structures even allowed to go up in the first place? Okay, but at least he was trying to do something. I could see, for me, out of all the ministers, okay, that one particular minister who was trying to deal with issues of, buildings springing up everywhere, but look, he was fighting a losing battle because, when you have unplanned development, that's what we have in Ghana, okay? I'm sorry, we have educated people, but, a lot of people are not enlightened, You have to have a picture of, what you want the place to look like, okay? You have to know what you're doing, okay? If you're traveling from point A to point B, okay, you can do so destroying everything along the way, okay? Or you can do so taking everyone along with you. When you get there, everybody's going to be with you, okay? I mean, which type of leaders do we want? Do we want transformational leaders who have the capability of delivering to the standard that we require? Critical thinkers, logical thinkers, okay? People who are patriotic and will put the needs of Ghana first, like Dr. Nkrumah did. I mean, apart from Nkrumah, we've not had any leader whatsoever, okay, who is selfless. For me, all the leaders that we've had since independence have let Ghana down. And it's sad and it's unfortunate that we're jeopardizing the future of the young ones presently and the ones behind us, okay? We need to bring God back into the equation, okay? We need to do some house cleaning. We need to purge the system of the filth, okay? There are people using the name of God to create wealth. Rwanda has closed down 5,000 churches. Okay, all this fake churches and prophets, and you know, we just need to clean house. Okay, in terms of the transformational development that we require, I don't believe that those politicians who are there, whatever they're called, ABC, CBD, whatever you want to call them, whatever letters, no, names they've, I don't believe that those people genuinely have the interest of the ordinary Ghanaian at heart. Okay, when you think about it, what you call real development, when you're in the Western world, you'll see every square inch is developed. Okay, that's people with a vision, with foresight, and the road infrastructure is solid. Okay, the healthcare system is solid. Everything is solid. Okay, we just construct a 50-kilometer road, and the president has to go and commission it. There was a time I think I saw one of the presidents commissioning ambulances. I'm like, what are we doing commissioning ambulances? The ambulances are sat on the sun, idling, and people are dying. Just put them to work. Why do we have more official V8 cross-country land cruisers than we have emergency vehicles, ambulances? What kind of thinking is that? It's like we lack wisdom or something. Ghana, it's time. It's time. The awakening is now. It's time to rise. It's time to speak up. Don't be in your corner and say the welfare and well-being of the country, Ghana, and its people does not concern you. It's time to rise. It's time to fix the country. It's time for the system to work. Okay? The chiefs of Ghana, I've seen some doing exemplary work, very humble, and going in the trenches and doing communal work and actively involved in the society, not riding in some motorcade with Rolls Royces and with police guards. I mean, how does that benefit the ordinary Ghanaian? Okay? I've seen some chiefs doing their bit because the government has let the system, the society down. So some people are using their initiative to see how best they can improve the quality of life of their people. Because if you're going to wait on the government, it's not going to happen in your lifetime. Okay. This whole duopoly, for me, since, constitutional rule began, post, the, because first, no, sir, we had the coups, and then we had the constitutional rule, and it just been some two parties. Pretty much that's it. They've been running Ghana, and this is the results. And there are some others in there. I don't know what they stand for, what they're about. But I can tell you for a fact that none of them have the interest of Ghanaians at heart. Okay? The people who are going to transform Ghana will be people like Dr. Nkrumah. People with the same mindset like Dr. Nkrumah. Nkrumah was an ordinary person. He came from nothing. Okay? He was not an elite. He was an ordinary person. So the clue is that that person will be an ordinary person. When Jerry Rawlings and his guys came, supposedly Jerry Rawlings was an ordinary person, okay, who very humble, very down to earth. Ghanaians threw their weight behind him. And unfortunately, things did not go the way it should have. Okay. With the best of intentions, by the Rawlings administration, during the coup period and all that. There was a lot of divisions and stuff. Okay, people were hurt, and that was very unfortunate, very sad. And my heart goes out to all the victims of that period, or the coup d'etat periods. Okay, some people lost their parents, and people's careers were destroyed. In fact, my dad included. You know, um, it's sad. Okay, but then we've come away from that. It's constitutional rule, and let's measure the results now. Okay, I can bet you that if the position of president and ministerial roles and other key governmental positions, say if it was advertised and people were supposed to apply for these positions, okay, and this position require that you have to pass the integrity test. Yes, of course, you have to have the requisite qualifications and experience. Yes, that's a prerequisite. Okay, but then you have to pass the integrity test. In other words, be a fit and proper person. Most of the people at post will not even be there. And if we were to do a forensic audit of Ghana's wealth and where it's gone, a lot of people are going to be in jail. All those big posh buildings that you see around Ghana, that's where Ghana's money is gone. And because of this, a lot of people were shot and imprisoned during the coup period. And to think that the people that came after have done something a million times worse and walking around freely, that's sad and unfortunate. But the people or the person who is going to lead Ghana, okay, and bring about the transformational change that we need, will be an embodiment of Nkrumah's values, beliefs, and principles, okay. And that person is not in the midst of the people who are running for office now. God would bring the person at the right time. The Almighty God will bring that person at the right time. Ghanaians are suffering. The ordinary Ghanaian is suffering and needs change. And that change will happen at some point in time by the power and might of the Almighty God. Ghana needs deliverance. Ghana needs change. Ghana needs real progress. Thanks for listening. Kindly subscribe and share this video and like as well. God bless you all. Thank you. Bye bye.